Hello everyone, this is Maria from Physio. I prepared for you today a short Pilates class that can help you if you're experiencing lower back pain at the moment. All you need for this class is a mat or a comfortable surface where you can lie down, and maybe a little bit of a cushion for your head or a pillow if you find that's more comfortable for you when you're lying down. And without further ado, we're going to get started. We're going to be lying on our back to start with. So to lie down, if you're sitting, it's a little bit more ergonomic if you roll to your side. Then roll to your back. And as I said, if you want to have a bit of an extra cushion for your head, that's fine too. Make sure you're comfortable. So the first thing we're going to do is just find our alignment. For these, we're going to start with the feet and the knees together, and we're going to allow the toes to turn out, a bit like ballerina feet, if that image helps you. And then from here, just allow the heels to open and then come back parallel to the toes, so facing forward, they're not rotating. When you do this, your knee should automatically come to hip width, but maybe just have a peek in case your knees are a little bit further in or out. Adjust yourself. And then take the hands to the hip bones, and we're going to move a little bit our lower back and pelvis to also center this region of the body. So for these, you're going to tap the tailbone under. You're going to round your lower back or flatten your lower back into the ground, and then go ahead and move the opposite way, creating a bit of a gap, arching your back. And then go again, round, arch. Feel the movement both ways, how much you go one direction, how much you move the other direction. And we're going to try to stop on the middle between the two. If you're not sure, you can check with one of your hands. You should have a space for your fingertips to go through, not for the whole of your hand, so a smaller space. And you can also use the image of a small grape. Imagine you've got a small grape underneath your lower back, and you're not squeezing it too hard, it's just staying there. So this is what we call neutral spine position. And once we have our neutral spine, we're just going to think of the upper part of the body, ribs soft, shoulders open. Just think of the back of your neck, nice and lengthened. Maybe bring your chin down a touch, as if you were looking right on straight ahead on the ceiling, just a touch forward, so the neck also stays long. Once we have this, we're just going to focus on our breath. We're going to bring the hands right on the hip bones, a little bit more into the lower tummy. We're going to take a deep breath in, expanding the belly. And we're going to take a deep breath out, drawing the belly down and in. And we're going to repeat it again. Feel the belly expanding. Feel the belly drawing down and in. Keeping your back neutral when you're doing this, so your back is not moving with the breath. And then take the hands on the ribs and try to feel the ribs also expanding. So inhaling, opening the ribs. Exhaling, feeling the ribs closing down. You can use a bit of pressure with your hands to help you. So inhale again, feel the ribs opening laterally. Exhale, feel the ribs closing. And then maybe place one hand on the belly, one hand on the ribs, and try to feel both moving. Let's try one more time. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, we're going to be adding to this a bit of activation on our deep abdominals, so maybe take the hands back to the hip bone area, lower tummy area. Take a deep breath in again. This time as you breathe out, begin to activate your core. So think of your hip bones coming together, or the image of a zipper as we're just bringing a zipper up to the lower tummy. And let it go through the inhale. And as you exhale, try again to connect your abdominals to your core. When you do this, again your back shouldn't be moving, you need to keep your neutral position. And you should be feeling hopefully comfortable throughout the body. Try not to bring tension elsewhere, so no tension on the shoulders, no tension on the neck. We're just going to make sure that hands are still on the hip bones now. We're going to start adding a little bit of movement. We're going to try to coordinate the breath with the movement to make sure we get a nice activation through the core, which should help you as well to keep your back more supported. So we're going to take a deep breath in, breathe out, feel that connection through the core, and go ahead and open your right knee to the side, only as far as your left doesn't move. So imagine you're balancing a cup of tea on top of your left knee and you don't want to drop it. Come back as you inhale. On the next exhale, as you feel the connection through the core, open your left. And just as before, try to control the right knee position. Come back on the inhale. And repeat it again. Exhale, open. So if you're a little bit unstable or a little bit weak, you might not be able to open too far. And that's okay. If you're stiff on the hips, that might be the case too. But just think that control. So you don't want to be opening too wide if the opposite hip and knee stay unstable or begin to wobble. Usually gets better with practice, so maybe once you've done 2 or 3 on each side, you might be able to do it a little bit better or improve your range. But regardless, again, even if it's not a lot of movement, keep thinking of your control. So activating through the core, controlling one hip as we release the other. Let's go one more time each way. Exhale to open. Inhale to close. And one more. Exhale to open. Inhale to close. From here we're going to take the arms now down by your side along the body. Make sure the chest stays open. Try to get a bit of connection between your shoulder blades at the back, and that should help you to broaden the collarbones a bit further. Your back should remain neutral, the ribs should remain soft. We're going to inhale now, and as we exhale, as we activate our core, our deep system, we're going to slide the right heel forward along the mat until your knee is fully extended. We're going to breathe in to return the knee back to where we started. On the next exhale, as you feel the connection to the core, go ahead and repeat the same on your left. Come back as you inhale. And let's go again. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, return. You want to imagine as if you were in sand, so you're sliding the heel easy. If you're on a mat, sometimes it's a little bit bumpy, but that's okay. Just try to create that image of a smooth movement as you go forward, as you come back. And this should be feeling also nice at the front of the hip. It's going to get a bit of opening for the hip flexor area, for the hip pocket area, which is often tight, especially if you spend time sitting during the day, which we all tend to do, but if you have an office job, or a job that requires you to spend a lot of time sitting, this area often gets very stiff. Great, let's go for one more time on each. Exhale to lengthen, inhale to come back. One more. Return. Great. We're going to progress this slightly. We're going to go ahead and take the right leg to tabletop, which is 90 degrees between the knee and the hip. Here, you need to watch that your knee doesn't come too close to you. You need to watch also that your foot doesn't drop too low. Once you're on single tabletop, be mindful of your back. Make sure you remain neutral. You can check again with your fingertips. We're going to inhale again. As we exhale, remember again of activating your core. Extend the leg forward with your toes a bit pointed. Come back as you inhale. If you tend to cramp on the toes or the foot, don't force your point. You can do it with your toes relaxed. But if you don't tend to cramp and it feels good, you can point the toes a bit, again like a dancer, to create a bit more length. We're going to be adding a stretch on the opposite shoulder. So you're going to lengthen your left arm away. Again, watching your ribs don't flare. Watching your neck doesn't arch. Come back. Breathe in. You can go all the way down with the arm, but if it does catch or feels a bit stiff, you don't have to force the range. Just think again of a nice lengthening feeling the front of your left shoulder too. We're going to add one more. So let's go again for one more. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale, return. Take the leg down, and we'll repeat the same to the other side. Go ahead and take your left leg to tabletop or 90 degrees. You can double check your back position. Breathe in. As you breathe out, activate a little bit through your core. Lengthen and come back. Breathe in. As before, you can point the toes or you can keep your toes relaxed if you have a tendency to cramp, or if for any reason you're cramping today, just again, don't force the point position. Notice also the difference on both sides, which side feels tighter or weaker, which side feels looser, stronger, for awareness. And you can add again the right arm. Gonna breathe in and breathe out. Let's go ahead and repeat another couple. Just try to enjoy the movement, even if it's a little bit stiff, should feel nice. Think of creating length on the spine while you keep working on the core. And then let's just lower the leg back down. Okay, on the next one, we're going to try to create a little bit more movement through the spine. So maybe bend your knees a touch deeper. We're going to start doing a small pelvic tilt, and if your back feels okay, I'll give you the option to progress it to a shoulder bridge. But I'll be giving you different options depending on how you feel, so you can do one or the other accordingly. So we'll take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to engage again through the core. You want to think of repeating that tilt we did at the beginning of the class, rounding your back or flattening your back into the ground, and then try to squeeze a bit through your glutes, your bottom muscles, and go ahead and lift the hips a touch, about a palm distance. You can always check with your hands, like bring hands on one or both, and make sure you have about that space. Then slowly return down as you breathe in, back to neutral. We're going to go ahead, again, exhale, squeeze the glutes, lift up the hips a bit, inhale, lower down, and we'll go again, squeeze through the glutes, lift the hips, inhale, lower. Now if this feels good and you want to start moving a little bit more, we can try to go about mid-range. So as you squeeze through the glutes, go ahead and lift about halfway through the spine. Inhale there, exhale, lower down. Let's go again. Exhale, squeeze through the glutes. Inhale, lower down. Otherwise, you can stay on the easier position. So the pelvic tilt is an easier option. And if you want to carry on and go for the full bridge, we can try to lift on the next one all the way to the shoulder blades. So creating a bit more movement, a bit more of a squeeze through the hamstring too, not just the glutes, so back of the thighs and the hips working together. This time we do double breath. Inhale at the top, exhale, go down from the breastbone, melting from the chest, the ribs, all the way down until you return back to neutral, the spine. And we're going to repeat it again. Exhale, squeeze through the glutes, lift all the way up. Again, only if your back feels okay with this. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down. Again, from the breastbone, the ribs, the hips, back to neutral. Don't stay with your hips or your lower back flat. 2 more times. We're going to go again. Exhale, lift. Inhale at the top, exhale, lower down. And let's do one last time. Exhale, bridge up. You can otherwise stay with your level, your variation. Inhale if you're up, exhale, lower down. And once we finish this one, we're just going to hug the knees to the chest. Let's just create a bit of movement by moving a little bit side to side or forwards and back, or maybe both. You can do a little bit of side to side and forward and back movement, whatever feels nice for your back. From here, we're going to take the legs back down. We're going to go this time with feet and knees together. Take the arms out to the sides to a capital T, or maybe arms a little bit lower if you don't have as much space. Just make sure the arms are not by your side, yeah? We want to have a bit more room. Palms facing up ideally. We're going to take a deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're going to twist. That's Napoleon, one of the cats. Drop the legs to the right, turn the neck to the left. Try not to lift the shoulders. Keep the left shoulder down, even though your left hip is going to come up, and your feet should be rotating as well. They're going to be coming off the ground slightly. We're going to inhale over there. Exhale, remember again about that connection to the core. Try to maintain your knees together, a bit of connection through the inner thigh. And then let's just go for the other direction now. Look over your hands towards the right. Again, remember about the right shoulder not lifting, keeping the hips lengthened. Your feet again will be lifting a little bit. Catch your breath, inhale. Exhale, come back. Let's repeat it again. Twist. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Should be feeling really good. So again, when you finish this one, just take the knees to the chest. As before, you can move a little bit side to side or forward and back. Right, from here, we're going to roll to our side, and you're going to use your hands or your top hand to help you up, and we're going to finish doing a cat and cow stretch. So for this, you need to come onto your hands and your knees. You're welcome to use a bit of padding underneath your knees if you get a bit sensitive on the kneecaps, so feel free to use a cushion or a pillow. And your hands can be on your knuckles if you get stiff on the wrists. Ideally, your hands should be about the width of the shoulders or a touch wider, and your knees about the width of your hips and your pelvis. So we'll start with the back fairly straight or neutral. So picture one line from your back of your head, shoulders and hips. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, think of engaging a little bit through your core, and go ahead and round your back, tucking the tailbone under. Relaxing your head between your shoulders, lifting the breastbone up, away from the mat, away from the ground. Inhale when you're there. Exhale, reconnect again with your core if you can, and begin to stick the tailbone out, drop the chest, collarbones wide, shoulders long, head looks forward. So we go into extension. Let's repeat it again, back to flexion or round back, which is the cat part of the stretch. Inhale. And as you exhale, arch away. That's it. We're going to repeat it again 2 more times. Round. And arch. And once more, both ways. Round. And arch. Great. When you finish this one, we're just going to drop the hips towards the heels. If your hips don't drop all the way, they're slightly higher, that's fine too. Relax your head towards the mat. Keep your arms lengthened. Hold for a full breath. And take your hands to the right hand side of the mat or the surface where you are, and open up a little bit more the left side of the body, the left shoulder, the left side of your waist. Hold for a full breath. And then the same towards the left hand side, so you open up now the right side of the body. Then let's come back to center, both arms lengthen, one more breath here. And then let's slowly roll off from child's pose to finish. We're going to come onto high kneeling. Again, you can still use a bit of cushion for your knees if you need one. Just go for a couple of easy rolls. Try to relax a bit the upper body. Just feel the changes on the spine, on your back, how your body feels. Go the other way. Let's just finish by bringing the shoulders up, shrug, relax them down. Let's repeat it again. Breathe in, shoulders up, relax. And again. If you feel you need to shake a bit more of the arms, the hips, the legs, you can do. And this is the end of the class. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a short class that you can try during the day if your back feels a little bit stiff. Any suggestions for any other classes, please let me know. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll see you on my next class soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.